Welcome to part 4 of our series on visuals in technical communication. In this video, we will explain what realistic renderings are and when you might use them as an engineer. To begin, what are realistic renderings? They are real images, such as photographs, or computer-generated renderings of existing places, sites, structures, and objects. For example, the image on the screen shows a rendering of the Innovation Studio at NC State's D.H. Hill Library. Engineers use realistic renderings or images in documents when you want to show what the object or place looks like in real life, highlighting the minute details of real objects is necessary and you can't accomplish it using diagrams, or you're presenting the final outcome of a project and want to show the results. For example, engineering firms may create realistic renderings to show a client what a building will look like when it's complete. Or, if your firm is hired to conduct a structural condition assessment, you will use photographs of the site to demonstrate your findings in your report. When using realistic renderings in your reports, there are guidelines you should follow. In this section, we will review the key things you need to know. Image quality is key to ensuring your audience understands important details from the image. For example, your image should clearly display the item you want readers to see. If you wish to show the structural deterioration of the entrance of a building, don't use a photograph showing the entire front exterior. Instead, use an image that focuses on the specific point you want to show. Additionally, you will want to ensure your image resolution is good. That is, you should not include blurry or otherwise unclear images. You can see the difference between a clear and unclear image on the screen. In the blurry image, it's difficult to discern a key structural feature of the building, the top spire. Next, consider carefully the dimensions of the images you include in your report. Images should be large enough for key details of the image to be visible for readers. You can use the width of the page minus your page borders to display an image clearly. However, do not stretch or distort the image to make it larger. The example on the screen shows how the dimensions of NC State's bell tower are inaccurately exaggerated because the image on the right is stretched. Next, do not use effects and filters on image that distort the reality of the object shown. Borders, filters, shadows, and other effects distract readers from the point of the figure and can alter important details such as color or clarity of the image. For example, the image on the right of the screen shows a distorted concrete color that may lead someone to conclude the concrete is deteriorating when in fact it is not. When using images, it is important to provide captions, annotations, and alt text for readers. Captions go below the image and provide both a figure number and a brief description of the main point you want readers to see in the image. When your rendering shows many features, it may be important to direct your audience's attention to the point you want them to see in the image by annotating it. You can annotate an image by pointing to a precise location, circling an item, adding descriptive text, or a combination. For example, the photograph on the screen shows an image from a structural assessment. It is annotated to point readers to see precisely the corrosion identified as damaging to the structure. Finally, alt text is important to provide so that readers using screen readers can understand what is shown in an image. You can provide alt text in most word processing programs by right-clicking on the image and writing in an image description. Sometimes you may want to show readers a portion of a larger object or site, but the location of the portion is relevant to the reader's understanding. In this case, you can magnify the portion of the image and use a line annotation to show its location relative to the overall scope. This is common for site locations on a map, or, as the example on the screen shows, detailed parts of a machine that are harder to see clearly when looking at the overall object. Finally, in this video, we will explain how you incorporate a realistic rendering into a document, such as a report. You not only insert the figure into the document, but you also write about the figure in the body text of your report. Your audience expects to read about a figure in the body of the text before seeing it on a page. You should refer to the figure in the text by number, such as in the example on the screen, which says, "Figure 12 shows." Your figure should then be inserted in the first available place after the paragraph in which you refer to the figure. Your figure should then be inserted in the first available place after the paragraph in which you refer to the figure. Be sure to number the figures by the order in which they appear. If you obtain the image from elsewhere, such as the example on the screen, you should also cite the source for a graphic, just like you would for a written source. In conclusion, realistic renderings allow you to display useful, precise details about sites, structures, or objects. Stay tuned for part 5 in our series, where we will explain how to use schematics in technical documents.